What up, DBs? We're gonna go over some Seattle Seahawks DB drills. So indie work. Um, when you do indie work, uh, it's pretty much just fundamental. So they don't have pads on and they're going over the basics. So it's no different than what you're probably doing at your high school or your youth practice. All right. So their drills are pretty much the same except the details. There's a lot more detail that they're probably being coached. Well, that I know they're being coached. So there's 100 ways to run cover one, cover two, cover three, cover four, cover five, cover six, all of that. You can run it 100 different ways. So football is a simple game complicated by man. So right now, he's just going to go over his press. By the way, this is Devin Witherspoon. I think he was the first DB taken in this year's draft out of Illinois. All right, so we're going to talk about their press. So let's take a look at his feet. All right, so he's going with a tight inch. All right, so he's going to give ground with small inch steps. All right, notice how his feet barely move. All right, inch by inch. This allows you to find rhythm with your feet. Okay, but you are able to stay square and you're still able to get a hard press on them. So I would say if you have a tight inch like this is like in between a hard press and a soft press, because like if you were to motor, you'd probably be right here on the release. If you were to do a hard press, you pretty much don't move, like you go at them right now, or you take a pure step where you step out. But I like this tight inch. It allows you to find rhythm, give ground, and read the release. All right. They're taught to two-hand jam. All right. So that's very popular at the D1 and college level. So if you can, so if he releases within your frame, all right, so if he were to release out here, you don't go for two-hand jam. You would just kick slide. But within the frame, okay, two-hand jam. And notice how he places the hands there. He's not really punching. He's placing the hands there. And you want to either have your arms locked out or work to a lockout. See how he locks his elbows out? Inch, read the release, jam, lockout, and then he keeps his eyes down, mirroring, having eyes on the hip. Okay, so outside release, having eyes on the hip. If you get an outside release, you're thinking fade, you're thinking stop route, you're thinking some type of comeback. And by the way, this red line is like the fade line, so you'll see this on NFL and college. I don't know why. I don't know why I never have my laptop charged, but anyways, you'll see this on college and NFL fields, and this is the fade line. So they want to control this red line on the fade. So vice versa, we want to get them off that red line, and we want to control that red line. All right, so this is something you can do practicing your inch. Outside release, I would say for younger guys, go with an off hand, so just one hand. But Seahawks teach two. Boom, lockout, eyes down on the hip. Going the other way. All right. And notice his distance. A lot of guys are just so close. Like when you go to these camps, guys are way up here. All right. In the NFL, you're 1.5, 2 yards, or college too. If you're 1.5, 2 yards back, that allows you to read the release properly. Okay. So if you're this close, you're probably gonna go hands before feet. And if you miss, you're done. All right, so give yourself some space. 1.5 yards, 2 yards. This might even be a yard, but the idea is space. The idea is space. All right. Tight feet. Right here, maybe an inch. All right, so his feet are just hot at the line of scrimmage, and this makes me think he's not even inching right here. I think he's just putting them up. I think he's just picking them up and putting them down. I think he's just picking them up, putting them down. This must work for him. I'm not sure if this is being taught or this is just how he does it, but it looks like he's still kind of giving ground. All right, place two hands, eyes down on the hip. So you can do this in your indies, coaches, players. whatever technique you're using, it really doesn't matter what he's doing. If you're a motor team, motor. If you're a pure step team, pure step. If you're inch back, inch back. It really doesn't matter what he's doing, but the whole idea is practicing the release, getting hands on, however you're taught to get hands on, keeping eyes low on the hip, and finishing. Even without a receiver. You can do this without a receiver. Now, for my young guys, I just want you to quiz yourself here. I want you to guess. Well, I wouldn't say guess. Tell me or tell yourself what type of technique or what coverage he's working on here. All right. So this is a cover 2. And coaches, most coaches already have this down, but if you got your friend, if you have 2 friends, 1 friend and a quarterback, or just you can always visualize this type of stuff. You can always work this type of stuff by yourself. Coaches work it in indies, all right? The very basics of cover 2 here. Okay, so he's going to start in a press look. Then he's going to walk off, disguise, all right? On the snap, he's going to get to 5 yards. And this is pretty standard. When you play cover 2, you want to be outside leverage at 5 yards. Not fully outside leverage, like where you're full shade, but half shade outside. And pretty much cover 2 1-on-1, 101 is 2 shuffles either direction. All right, so if this receiver was out here, we would shuffle, shuffle, punch, crossover run, and then break down in a shuffle here, read 2 to the quarterback. So because it's a stack look, it's a little different. Or a tight look, close split. So notice gets to 5 yards, 1, 2 shuffles, okay, to force number 1 inside. We don't want number 1 to get to the sideline because it stresses our safety. 5 yards, shuffle, shuffle. He stops. Okay, in cover 2, yes, you have the flat. Okay, but you want to force the ball to be thrown to the flat. We want to rally to the flat. All right, you want to sink underneath number 2. So if number 2 runs a 10 and out, you need to be there. If number 2 runs a corner route, you need to be there. All right, so we sink under, taking away this dead space because our safety is not going to be able to get here, especially if he flattens this off. So again, 5 yards, shuffle, shuffle, crossover, crossover, shuffle. All right. And then once we read the quarterback to 2, he's going to get out of his break and get an interception. So I would say coaches, don't use, even if you're throwing with your friends, don't use a ball if you haven't perfected this. The way I would do it is you can still run these concepts, but have the quarterback just fake like he's throwing the ball here, and then just have the corner practicing getting out of his crossover or getting out of his shuffle and reacting downhill. I think when you add a ball to drills, kids tend to forget the basics. All they think about is the ball. The basics is shuffle, force in, fall off, crossover, shuffle, shuffle, read, 2 to quarterback. Quarterback throws to the flat, react to the flat. We want to force the ball to the flat. Play top down. And then this can be cover 3 or cover 4. This is just a deep zone. So quarters or deep third. I'm going to play this out. Same concept. All right. So this is a very basic concept that as a DB you need to be aware of. They will run a hitch by number 1, or some type of China by number 1, or 5 and in, or hitch, something short to draw your attention. Hopefully you bite, you have bad eyes, and then it opens up the window for the seam or some type of corner. All right, so basically hitch, corner, or shallow, seam, something. All right, this is football 101. So he's going to come out of his bail, cover 3 or cover 4. All right. We want to midpoint. So You want to be in between. So if both these guys were to go vertical, let's just say cover 3, because in cover 4 you would match this, but cover 3 you want a midpoint, so you want to be in between both receivers here if they were to run verticals, so you can react on this seam once you get past your curl flat defender. Or to keep it simple, be deeper than the deepest. Okay, be deeper than the deepest. Be deeper than both verticals. One of them sits down, he's gonna point. Okay, but even better would be for you to yell it out. So hitch, 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 hitch. China, 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 China. In. So it tells your underneath coverage that somebody's going in. All right. Not only is somebody going in, number one's going in. Because we wouldn't, if he ran in, we wouldn't call that. So in. So as he's dropping, he knows, all right, that he needs to work towards this in breaking route, or he needs to work towards this this hitch. Boom. He falls off. We squeeze here. So even in quarters, we would squeeze this. So we would squeeze, meaning we would close space to this. In cover 3, we would close space to this. So if it is a seam, we would have to help make that play. And then if it is a corner route like it is now, all right, and then this must just be the concepts that they're working on. But again, the NFL's running the same. The NFL's running the same concepts that oh God, running the same concepts that you guys are running. In. Hitch. China. Point. Fall off, squeeze. All right, so I would suggest adding. You can do all of this by yourself. I'm telling you, you don't need anyone. All right, practice your footwork. Practice, visualize some type of release. All right, punch, kick, whatever. Get your eyes down. Boom. You get back to the line again. Receiver or no receiver, you can do this. All right. Step, punch, kick on the inside release, eyes down. Just keep working that. And then take it a step further. Once your eyes are down, break yourself this way for the in route. Break yourself this way for the dig. If you were to go outside, all right, once you get here, try after you get 10 yards, breaking back to the sideline for the comeback. Or after you get 15 yards or whatever down the field, turn your head back in for the fade. Play the hands on the back shoulder fade. You can do all this by yourself. You don't need people here. You can literally practice walking out, getting to 5, shuffle in, punch, force him inside, crossover, shuffle. All right. And then breaking downhill to rally to the flat. So this can be your indie work if you're a team, if you're a coach, and this can just be you practicing before games or just visualizing success, visualizing the fundamentals. And then this one, bailing, getting deep, IDing that number one is shallow, pointing, alerting, communicating, and then just falling off. So again, I love this stuff because it's so basic. It's so basic, but the pros are doing the fundamentals. The pros are going over the fundamentals. All right, so as always, I'm going to drop my email in the box. If you guys need some press drills, if you guys need speed workouts, I have that stuff, for purchase. I try to keep it cheap so you guys, don't have to break the bank for things. It's simple stuff. It's always the simple stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Send me an email if you have any questions. If you want that that drill tape, I got a Hawaii drill tape where we do tons of drills, like 100 drills on tape for purchase as well. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you get at me if you need anything. Peace.